What is going on YouTube? Hitterback making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, I want to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, as well as an article posted by CCN in regards to Bitcoin SV's ridiculous 100% rally has skeptics crying exit scam, something to consider. A lot of people were very confused at the major rally that the coin had. I was quite confused. I felt like Bitcoin SV kind of fell off the radar and now it's making massive leaps and bounds. So I thought we would kind of touch upon that as well as the market and where it's kind of headed, because the past couple of days we've been seeing some very interesting movements all across the board, and I think we should continue to address where my opinion floats as to if the coin is headed back up or if we're headed back down, kind of just giving you my insight and my thoughts moving forward into the market, whether or not I should be shorting the market, longing the market. I know I made a video yesterday that you guys reacted really well to in regards to whether or not I should short or long, and your opinions on whether we have finally entered a bullish market or done the opposite. So I want to continue off of that lesson, continue discussing that, and we'll continue to figure out whether or not we have entered a new bull market, whether we should open a position on Dudex, creating a long position, leveraging it, or if we should short the market right now, because I've been talking to a lot of my Patreon subscribers. For those of you who don't know, I do have a Patreon. It is the link in the description, second link. Check that out if you want to join. Basically, it's a way for me to have one-on-one, lessons and contact with my subscribers who kind of want a more personal level. So definitely check that out. I have a lot of people signing up, so huge shout out to you guys. You know who you are. But otherwise, let's dive right into today's episode. Like I always say, if you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 13.1K, trying to breach that 20,000 subscriber goal that we have for the end of 2020. Otherwise, jump into today's video. So guys, yesterday we made a video basically saying I'm finally bullish, and I gave some very interesting approach to where exactly we were headed, basically in regards to whether or not I was on the, and I still am on the fence about whether or not XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin are going to be heading much higher up. Did they enter a final new bull market? My opinions on there, my concerns, whether or not we were going to consolidate back down. Honestly, guys, the big takeaway I want you to understand is I'd rather miss out on a couple of runs than put my money in on a big investment and watch it tank down. So I'd rather be 90-95% certain we're going to be either headed up or headed down before I make my big play. And I'm okay with missing out on a couple runs because I've been in the market for over 2 years now, and I've watched every day I make videos. I've watched it shoot up, I've watched it shoot down, and I always know there will be another rally coming or another dip that we can take advantage of and make money off of. So that's why I make this channel, for us to figure out when those investments are and the best ways to capitalize and profit off those movements as well. So before I jump in, I want to show you guys the current coin market cap. As you guys can see, Bitcoin SV now number 5, which blows my mind, above Litecoin. 0.97, or sorry, Bitcoin SV down 10%. So usually after these massive pumps that we see in the market, we start to immediately correct back down afterwards, kind of like bouncing a basketball, more or less like the ripple effect. You bounce a ball, it bounces really high the first time, then it immediately corrects back down and it gets lower and lower and lower until it eventually stops bouncing and kind of consolidates or rolls sideways, which is what we're looking for. Obviously, you can see the market's top 10 cryptos. Bitcoin is down. Ethereum is basically flatlined. Bitcoin SV down 10%. Litecoin down 1%. Majority of the cryptos are kind of just trading sideways, except for Dash blowing up, now up 40% today. Mind-blowing, wild. Not really sure what's taking these coins and making them blow up, but crazy. Bitcoin Gold up 70% today. Absolutely wild. Not sure what the deal is, but crazy. It's all the Bitcoin relative coins. I was seeing something about, I think, Craig Wright in regards to some sort of lawsuit. Maybe that's why. But in regards to Bitcoin SV, I wanted to read you guys this because I felt this was fairly important. Basically, as we know, Bitcoin SV blew past a resistance at 175, reaching a blast to a peak above 350, which blows my mind, almost doubling. It says one of two hard fork blockchains, Bitcoin SV's most gravity defying according to the coin market cap. Big news. The Bitcoinists point to a January 11 promise of big BSV news from one of the cryptocurrency's most visible proponents, Calvin Ayre. Big news coming, yada, yada, yada. BSV overtakes Binance Coin. As we know, how ironic, Bitcoin SV overtakes that coin. It initiated its delisting in many other exchanges months ago. I'm sure where is Binance is reminded to move looking at this today. Bitcoin has been founder to prove he's Satoshi Nakamoto. That's crap. Skeptics cry pump and dump. That's kind of where I'm sitting at. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong, but it's time to make a choice. You don't buy Bitcoin SV. You wake up in your bed like nothing happened. You buy Bitcoin SV. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. I mean, it's pretty crazy the massive amounts that have gone into this. A lot of people are starting to believe that this was some sort of exit scam, pump and dump thing. You can see 60% up. Is Bitcoin SV exit scam in progress? Yes. So basically, if you guys own Bitcoin SV, consider selling off ASAP, because that's what everybody else is going to be doing fairly soon, and you're going to lose a lot of profits. But to move on from there, basically looking at Dudex once again, very interesting, peculiar movements right now. We were battling a resistance at 81.80, and we finally broke through that, and now we're just teeter-tottering on overbought on all the relative strength indicators. It's just very odd and peculiar, and that's what I wanted to go in depth into today. I'm still on the fence about buying long or selling short. I know I have a couple of people on Patreon, you know who you are, who have shorted the market, and a couple people who are longing the market right now with some pretty incredibly high leverage positions. Now, for those of you that don't know what for those of you that don't know what Dudex is, it's probably one of the best exchanges that I've found that allows you to basically leverage trade as well as buy long and sell short. A lot of people aren't aware that you can actually short Bitcoin. I wasn't until like last month. So take advantage of this, sign up, get ready for that next big move. Link is in the description if you want to check that out. I believe it's the first link. It allows you to short and margin trade, leverage trade. We've talked about this all the time. Basically, leverage trading allows you, there's high risk. That's the big warning that I want to put out. Caution. Obviously, if you want to do it, go ahead. It's not that big of a deal. I've done it, but you can lose more money quicker than if you weren't to. The difference between leverage trading and not is with leverage trading, let's say you invest $200 into Dudex and leverage it by 10 times, you have buying power of $2,000. So you can make profit off of $2,000 that you're borrowing from Dudex versus the $200. So basically you can make more profit or you can make more losses off of a smaller investment, which is awesome. As well as shorting the market, which means you can make money on the coin falling versus shooting up. So very cool. Love that. We're kind of figuring out whether or not, that's why I'm asking you guys to help me decide whether or not I should be buying long or selling short. And honestly, I could just take your opinion on it and kind of figure it out. If most of you guys believe I should short the coin, I will. If most of you guys believe we should long the coin, I will. And then figure out what leverage we should do. If you guys have a position open on Dudex, let me know in the comments down below. I want to see what we're doing right now. Are you guys shorting? Are you guys buying? A couple people answered me on Patreon, but furthermore, I wanted to show you guys this and kind of get your insight and your feedback on this. Let me know in the comments down below. I feel like a lot of you guys are avoiding this or are not paying attention. But in regards to these higher lows being set, we have one here, and then I'll delete these after. We have another one. I'm just putting the caps where you guys see these higher lows in play. We can consider this to be one. I mean, it's not really that important. But right here is another one. And then today is right here. So basically what you guys are noticing is I'm putting markers at every single high point Bitcoin has had. And you guys can see in purple that we've had a high point here at 13,000, a high point here at 12,000, and then a high point at like 97. We could put one here too if you wanted to at 10.5. Then we have another one at 87. But basically, in order for us to prove, or at least to prove to me, that we are in a new bull market and I should put in a long position, I need to see a break above this level right here, above the previous one. As you guys can see, this is just one constant uptrend. If this manages to break the 9,680 resistance and set a newer high and break our previous high, then I will be bullish on the market and I believe we'll be heading up. My concern is we're still setting higher lows, which to me shows that we're going to continue this pattern and we could, by chance, expect to see this drop happen. We could see this correction. We could see this correction or retracement downwards. We could even see it fall to here. There's different levels that we could head to. We could head back down to here. We could hit this and then head back up even higher. Very possible. This will ultimately be setting a new a new higher low, then setting a new lower low. A new lower high. Wow, this is super confusing. These are new lower highs. Each time we have set a new lower high. Hopefully I referred that last time. These are lower highs. These are higher lows. So this is a higher low than the last one. If we set a third higher low, then I'm anticipating a break above our previous high, which is right here, and we'll continue the bull market. Otherwise, we're going to break bearish from here and fall onto this support. We're either going to head back up or we're going to break all the way down, hang out here, and then break lower all the way back down to the bottom support right here. So that's kind of where it is. It's like a tongue twister. Hopefully you guys are still following along. But these are lower highs. That's what these are. These are lower highs, lower than the previous high. This one's lower than the previous high. This is lower than the previous high. And then this is lower than the previous high. Hopefully you guys are following me. So ultimately where the coin is right now, it's kind of weary and it makes me fairly bearish that we're going to still see lower movements and that we're still in a bear market. Yes, we've started January in 2020 off amazing, but we're still in this bearish downtrend, which you guys don't really realize until we correct above our previous high. Until that point, I'm still kind of bearish. Also consider we're retesting overbought on the daily. We're retesting overbought on the 4-hour. Plenty of reason for us to fall lower. Also, no, we're not going to expect to see this massive blast off that you guys are anticipating if we're overbought. It's not going to happen. Also notice, which I wasn't paying attention to before, I mentioned in yesterday's video, why I could be fairly bullish on the market now. I used to be fully bearish, but last time we were on this uptrend, we eventually blasted through here and moved away. Now we came back down, consolidated on here, and it looks like we're starting to blast off again. So is this foreshadowing what we did back in 2019? Is this the beginning of what happened in 2019? Are we going to see movements up to the halving, $13,000 in play? All I know is before we see that massive explosion, I'm anticipating sideways consolidation. If we manage to see sideways consolidation, honestly, I'm going to be buying in and anticipating a new blast off to the upside. So that's merely what I'm waiting on. If we don't correct lower and we don't fall the retest support or break through it, which would be a short, then I'm highly anticipating a bullish move if we see consolidation. Consolidation will show bullish move. Correction, a slight movement downwards, will show that we're still in a bear market. And that's pretty much where my head's at. Another reason why I'm slightly bullish is when you take a gander at the weekly, you'll notice a couple of things. Yes, it looks to me like we're starting to blast off like we did back here, but also notice we are so freaking close to seeing our MACD cross, which would be a great indication of a bullish move. This is a bullish cross that we're about to have, which is a bullish signal of heading up even higher. Now, take that and apply it to Ethereum and Litecoin, and we get the same thing. Ethereum looks slightly bearish, retesting overbought on the daily. We can go look at the 4-hour. It's overbought. We're also retesting the high-low MMA, and we're not able to break through this. We're kind of capped right here, and it looks like we're trying to head lower. That's where we're seeing all this congestion. Possibility we could break up higher. Let's check out the weekly if we are nearing another bullish cross. Yes, you can see another bullish cross. Gives me reason to believe we could blast off on Ethereum. We could be entering a bull market. It is definitely a possibility. I mean, when you check this out, we are extremely undervalued on Ethereum's weekly. We could easily see come a next couple of months a movement up to 210, maybe even 315. So honestly, long term, I am bullish. Long term, I am bullish. That's pretty much the end point. Long term, I am bullish. Come May, I believe the coins are all headed back up. We're extremely undervalued. Ethereum looks like it wants to go to the weekly. I'm just saying short term. For you guys who want to make money short term, I'm slightly bearish in regards to the next, maybe let's say month or 3 weeks. I'm bearish. But after that, I do believe we're going to be heading up higher. It's just whether or not we buy in now for a short or a long. But honestly, the way Ethereum looks, it's headed up, guys. This is an extremely bullish thing on Ethereum. It's extremely bullish that we're undervalued. It looks like it wants to head up. Ethereum might be something to invest into. I might consider for maybe like a 3 to 6 month investment moving forward. I do believe you will make a positive return on your investment. As for XRP, and then we'll wrap things up with Litecoin. XRP hitting a resistance here. Let's check out its weekly. We know on its weekly, do we have any sort of bullish cross? A slight bullish cross there. More so, it's the fact that we're in this major descending fractal right here. Yes, we're below the high-low MMA. Yes, it is possible that we could see this sort of pattern happen. Boom. Or even we could see something like this. Boom, hit here, and boom, all the way up to the high-low MMA. Very possible we could see an 80-cent run, 20, 40, 60, 80. It can move up 400% in literally a couple of months if we get any confirmation above here. Honestly, if I can see us break out of here and retest what will probably be 30 cents, even the slightest movement up to like 26, so we can close XRP at 26 or 27 cents, I am buying into XRP because I am expecting an immediate movement up to 37 cents and then an immediate movement, potentially more of a optimistic view, up to 84 cents. But definitely any sort of correction above this descending fractal would mean an immediate breakout, and then I'm expecting to see that volume just explode into the coin. But everything looks like 2020 is going to be the year. It looks like 2020 wants to be fairly bullish. Let's check out Litecoin on its weekly. Litecoin, let's see, are we having a cross? We just had our bullish cross on Litecoin. It looks like Litecoin's having some difficulty here, but it looks like it still wants to eventually retest $66, and we could have a cap at around $100 on Litecoin in regards to a conservative approach to things. Honestly, when you look at Litecoin on weekly, when you look at all the cryptocurrencies on their weekly charts, they all show bullish signs. They all look like great investments. When you look at them on the short term, on the daily charts, they all look like they're overbought and they're looking to see a short-term correction to the downside. That's kind of where my opinion sets. Just to quick recap on here, guys. Obviously, use Dudex. Check this out. If you want to make a short position, consider shorting the market. In regards to my next maybe 6-month price prediction, I think all the coins are going to be going up, and I think 2020 is going to be a great year. After the past 7 months or 6 months of bearish movements within all the cryptocurrencies in 2019, I think 2020 is going to pretty much shoot the coin up. So if you're not yet invested long-term into crypto, maybe consider it. Now, I'm no financial advisor, and this is my position. I'm just thinking out loud right now. I may actually put a couple $100, maybe even a couple $1,000, leave it in Dudex in some of the coins, and just leverage trade it ever so slightly for a long-term, long position. Now, I know that Dudex charges some small fees, 10 cents every day, around that, maybe even 8 cents. Something to consider, but when you leverage trade 10 times, if I put 10 grand in here, or even $1,000 into here, and I leverage it by 25 times for a long-term movement to the upside, we're talking about great profit. And I can always sell off, expect a dip, and then buy back in and shoot up. But definitely check it out, guys. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's video. Like I said, make sure to leave your comments and opinions down below. Answer my questions. I'd love to hear some feedback. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.